Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I hope you're having a good one because I'm excited to be back. Although I have to be honest, I do have to be honest with you, I'm not excited to be in my office right now because my office right now is really, really warm because we built it specifically to trap sound and heat because, quite frankly, I live in Northern Ireland where it's typically cold and recently it's been very warm. So I'm melting at the moment. And I'm bringing that up for a reason. The reason is that you may hear a bit of like a hiss when I'm talking. That hiss is the sound of several fans and one little air cooler thing that I have running to try and just, you know, not boil alive. Because seriously, I don't know about you, and I know I've said this before. Most of what I say on this channel I've said at some point before in the last 10 years. Winter is considerably better than summer, and I will not hear otherwise. Because if you're cold, you can put on more layers. You can warm up. You can get all snugly in front of a fire with a blanket. If you're too warm, there's only so many layers you can take off before it becomes a problem. Depending on your circumstance. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? That's my stance on it, and I will not hear otherwise. Now, there have been some changes between this episode and the last one. And like a professional, I shall segue flawlessly into those changes without acknowledging the previous topic of conversation. Change number one is that I've gone ahead and added a stop in Philadelphia for what was originally the Detroit to Madison brick delivery line. It's now picking up food in Philly to then take that food to Madison because Madison wants food. And then up in Madison, I have added another line right here, which is food delivery, and it essentially just loops around like this. It stops down here, and it was these buildings in this general area that happened to want the food anyway. So that is now a thing that's happening. That is now a thing that is working. We actually have a decent little demand for food that is growing down here, as well as the construction materials as well. And that's helping Madison to grow to over 500 people. So if we can get more goods in here and start bringing some machines in here, Madison might start becoming our biggest city, which would be very exciting. I did also add a passenger loop around here, a bus loop around Madison, which is, I think, contributing to a considerable number of people wanting to get on the train, which is exactly what I wanted. So Madison in general is growing quite nicely, and I'm hoping that will continue to do so. As for Philadelphia itself, I mean, it is not really growing. To be quite honest, it is getting the goods that it wants, but it, I guess, needs more food, which is crazy to me. And I guess we could look here and see what's going on with that. So Philly food to Laredo, Philly food, Philly bricks. I guess we just need more of everything. Honestly, I probably just need to rebalance a lot of what we're doing and rebuild a lot of our lines, which I'll do that eventually. I'm not really in a rebalancing kind of mood today. Oh, I will tell you what I am in the mood for, though, is this right here. I decided to go ahead and redo how this depot connects to the tracks. It doesn't really overlap all of this anymore. It now goes all the way down here. We have a little crossover for anything heading towards Fargo and Madison. And then trains can loop around if they want to head back towards Philadelphia. So getting new trains shouldn't cause issues with the old trains anymore. At least that's the hope. And we'll see if that ends up being a thing. But I think what I want to do today, to be quite honest, is I want to look into machine production because Philadelphia wants machines and Madison wants machines. And I'm sure there's a few other places along the way that happen to want machines as well. Now, we do have some machine production down here. We're going to need steel and we're going to need planks for that. Unfortunately, we do have plank production over here, which isn't even, I mean, it's barely halfway maxed out. So we could go a little bit crazier on the plank production. But what I think I'd rather do is I'd rather find somewhere where we can just have a dedicated machine production setup. So rather than sharing the plank production that's going on, we would use, for example, this factory here, we would use this forest right here, and then we would have to find somewhere to turn that wood into planks. So for example, this forest to that sawmill. Ooh, don't mind if I do. We'll take a look at that plane in a second. This forest to that sawmill would be a great start down here in Fullerton. And then we have, I suppose, this iron ore mine and this coal mine going and making steel down here. That might be the way to do it. We do our plank and steel production down here in Fullerton, and then we ship those materials up towards up towards here and turn it into machines. And then this could maybe be our main machine production plant, which is good because, I mean, Warren now accepts them. Santa Ana is accepting them as well. So there's a lot of places near here, including Ontario, and, you know, Baton Rouge and Brownsville. There's a lot of places that want machines. So I think that's maybe how we do this, unless there's somewhere else that I can produce machines. I mean, that's a possibility. Let's just take a little look here. If I go to Baton Rouge and look at suppliers, we have got a bunch of machine factories. So I'm going to pin this and we can go and take a look and see what we got. So we got Port St. Lucie. We have Philadelphia, which is silver and steel. The Philly one would be interesting, I suppose, because we could load it into the main train station. But I feel like we're on the brink of overloading Philadelphia with way too much stuff. And I feel like if I'm not in the mood for rebuilding the entire network around Philadelphia, the best thing to do, to be quite honest, I think is going to be right down here by Fullerton. So let's go ahead and get some roads set up and let's see what exactly we can do. We can get ourselves a nice little small country road right here, and we'll bring it out. I think we'll actually upgrade to the medium one since it's a little bit faster. And we'll just bring this guy over to the road right here. And that seems okay. We can then, I suppose, push straight through this space here, which I guess that looks okay as well. We'll go ahead and approve it. It's 1.1 million. And then what we'll do is connect this guy over to that little corner. And that's a straight shot from the forest to the planks production. And I do want to upgrade that road. So that solves that problem. It's just a matter of where are we going to be taking the planks from and how are we going to be doing it? Because we could, I suppose, set up a train line that goes between these two towns. Although, well, actually, thinking about it, if we did that, we can have the train line go from here with the steel and the planks. We could have it go up and drop it off here. And then the machines, I suppose, can go, well, we'll figure that out. Maybe we do just road trucks and stuff like that. But for now, let's just get the basics. Let's not get ahead of ourselves because I'm getting there. I'm getting ahead of myself. And you know, while I'm doing this, I've just noticed that there is an oil sand mine relatively right here. It's right here. And then down here, we have a fuel refinery that would take that oil sand and turn it into fuel and sand. Now, Evansville wants fuel and Fullerton wants fuel. Even Norwalk wants fuel. We might have to do this, because we could then take that sand, and I'm pretty sure that can be turned into construction material. Yeah, one sand can be turned into 2 construction material. So we might have a really, really good system down here for producing a bunch of really important materials. Especially since Evansville itself happens to want the fuel. So we're going to have to look into that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the game paused while I build everything that I'm building, because I think if I don't, what's going to happen is we're going to risk seeing some of those guys end up getting abandoned. And I would kind of like to avoid that. I'm going to be quite honest. I would like to avoid that. I'm also going to say that we have 6 platforms here, because I'm going to set all of those up as alternate platforms for the trucks coming in here to see just how crazy we can get with the general production on this new line. So that's where we're picking up the iron ore. This right here is where we're going to be picking up the coal. And then this is where things can be dropped off, turned into steel and slag, I'm pretty sure, and then taken to wherever it needs to go. It's a bit of a weird layout, but I'm hoping that it will help us out a little bit in terms of managing all the vehicles that are going to be coming down here. Now, I did notice a little something while I was building that, and it was the tools tab where I have tram track tools, bus lane tools, and player ownership tools. And then I went and looked at trains and realized I have those same tools available to me for high-speed tracks and electrification, which actually does let me just go in and upgrade the tracks in a station. which I'm going to be honest, I sort of completely forgot about. I forgot that I had the option to just upgrade these things rather than having to tear them out and rebuild them. And I'm also going to be honest in saying that the last couple of episodes have been recorded before sort of the previous ones went out. So there's a really good chance that the comments on a few of the most recent episodes of this series have been talking about the fact that, yeah, it turns out I totally forgot about the upgrade tool. I apologize. I'm aware. I know it's frustrating. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't notice it sooner, to be quite honest. But to be fair, it's been noticed now. So at the very least, I'm now in a position where I can just go and upgrade everything. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna make you watch the process either. But I'll upgrade some of these guys just to remind myself that I am, in fact, a bit of a dummy. So now we'll come back down towards Fullerton and whatnot and see what exactly we can do here, because we are also going to need to get ourselves a couple of depots down this way as well. So we'll go and get ourselves a nice big truck station by this forest, and that was the wrong button. So we'll go for, let's see, can I get something? I want to say right about there should be fine. And we're going to do the same thing down here as well. So we'll go ahead and just put a depot, I guess right about there should be okay. I'm not too sure how well that's going to do with traffic, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll figure things out. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to smooth this out though, because it looks a little bit silly. So that's how we're going to get logs into planks. This is how we're going to get iron and coal into steel. The question now is, how do we move all that stuff up towards Norwalk? And I think what we do is we go in and we're going to want to upgrade just a few of these roads. So let's go to streets. Let's go to, I think we'll just stick with medium country road, and we're going to upgrade all of this section. We're going to upgrade all of this section as well. And then we're going to upgrade everything that heads up this way past this farm up to the fishery. And we're going to push that straight through this hill right here. So straight to about there, and then we'll curve it straight through to that intersection, or maybe a little bit. Actually, no, that intersection's perfect. So that's exactly where we want that to go. We can upgrade this guy, and then connect this, and we should be pretty good. So we'll get that connected, upgrade you as well. And, you know, I want to make this look a little bit better. I'm going to be quite honest. I want this curve to look a tiny, tiny little bit better. So you from there to there, and that looks better, I guess. Well, we'll go with better. Anyway, that's going to be the straight shot between all those, and I do think I'm just going to go with trucks for now. I think while we get this industry started, we'll stick with trucks. Eventually, we might want to go with trains. It's not like I can't afford to do trains right off the bat. I just think trucks are kind of the way to go for now. And I'm also thinking that what we really might want to do here is similar to what I've done elsewhere, because we're going to have a lot of vehicles coming through. So we'll put this guy, I guess, right about there. We'll go and configure. We'll do street access in the middle, at the side, and at the side. And we can go and connect it all together with a couple of these country roads. So we get that connected. We bring this straight over as well, which is going to go there. Bulldoze the access, and then we throw some waypoints on it to control the traffic. So we want a waypoint going out and a waypoint coming in. And hopefully this actually works. I'm really hoping for good things here. Ever since I found out about this alternate terminal business, this might be good. Okay, so all of the Fullerton lines are now in, which is great news. We just need to get some vehicles on it, which is going to be the next big step. But what I do want to do is go down each of these and essentially say that when picking up coal, you can go to any of those platforms. So that should be an easy process. And then when dropping the coal off down here in Fullerton North, I'm going to say you can go, I guess, to, let's say 4, 5, and 6. And then for the iron one, it is pick it up from any of the available platforms. And then for dropping it off, it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and not platform 4. So that should give us a nice little spread there. Now, obviously, the steel needs to go somewhere. So in Fullerton North, what I'm going to do is say that 3 and 4 will be the plan. In fact, you know what? Let's just do all of them. I guess it doesn't just go to wherever you can go to pick up the steel. And that should be fine. And then when dropping it off, it's just going to be the same thing. Drop it off absolutely anywhere. And then the same thing with the logs and the planks. You know, pick up the logs from any of the available platforms. I guess drop them off on any available platform. And then the planks to machines, exact same thing. Just pick it up from any available thing and drop it off at any available thing. And we'll see how that goes, I suppose. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of trucks in here doing their thing. And, you know, probably doing terrible, terrible things with traffic, but that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look, though, because I am realizing I need to manage this line. Because after it's done here, I need it to go out that way. So we'll see how that behaves. And then I also need this one to, when it's done here, go out that way as well. And then we need this line as well to go. So from Fullerton North, I need you to go there as well. So essentially they all go out that way and don't overlap with the other vehicles. And I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but that's what we're going to do. So let's go and get ourselves a building. Let's get a road depot and we'll go ahead and just put it, I'm going to say right about, I think right about here should be pretty good. And we'll just get a bunch of trucks. That's essentially it. It's just a whole bunch of trucks going on this. So let's go buy vehicles, cargo, and we'll go for, let's see, what can I get away with on this? So I could go with the side stakes, right? Because it can carry logs, which become planks, and then those go up and become machines. So this can't carry machines, which is okay. This can carry both of the coal and the iron ore. It can also carry steel. So I think we're going to use the trucks with side stakes. And how many lines do we have? That's going to be the real question. We have, it's in here somewhere. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me buy 25 of these guys. That was 100, wasn't it? That was 100. Okay. Let me buy 100 of those guys. We'll make them sort of a faded kind of yellow color. And I'll grab 20 at a time. Oh boy, no, I won't. No, I won't. Okay. Let me sell that 100 trucks and buy them again. And there we go. We have 100 vehicles queued up to come out of here and do their thing, which is going to take a little while, but that's fine. We should now see, however, some production going on, which we absolutely are. So let's go ahead and make sure this is all set up correctly. This line is going to be picking up only logs, and then it's just going to be dropping things off in Fullerton West. This line right here, the planks to machines line, is only going to be picking up the planks and then dropping them off in Norwalk North. We have these lines down here, which we can go ahead and pin. This is the coal to steel line. So we want you picking up only coal, and then you can unload everything there. The iron ore line is the same story. You are going to be picking up only iron ore, and then you're going to be dropping off iron ore right there. And the steel to machines line is apparently already set up. Might have been the wrong one. No, wait, hold on. Manage line. We want you picking up exclusively steel, and then you are going to be dropping off pretty much exclusively steel. So that should give us a whole bunch of vehicles moving out and doing their thing. We already have a good amount of iron production going on. We have coal production up here. We have logs down here. So this entire thing will start working. It's just a matter now of balancing it. So if we take a look and see what we got, we can bring this in a little bit just so everything's a little bit more compact. Can I change the width of the columns? Apparently not. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll bring this back out then. So Fullerton, what are we looking at? We have a rate on, what's the highest rate we've got? The logs to planks is 190. So let's just bring this up a little bit so it's a bit smaller, and so we can see the Fullerton lines still, which are right there in the middle. We'll close these pop-ups, and what I want to see is 2 logs to every 1 plank. And then that's actually okay. So 190, let's go and see if we can bring that up to about 200. So if I duplicate 2 vehicles, that gives us 209. I'm willing to accept that. The planks to machines line needs to be a rate of about 100. So if I manage those vehicles and I grab all but say 2 of them, and then obviously duplicate them, that comes up to 104, which is still fine. It is 1 less than the rate on the planks line. So that's good. The iron ore lines are both, well, the coal and the iron ore lines are going to need to be, oh, interesting. This is going to 252. So there is going to be considerable excess here, but that's fine. These are going to figure themselves out. We need the iron ore to steel and slag line to get a few more vehicles as well. So let me grab just 5 of those and duplicate them. And that comes up to 172 still. Duplicate again. Comes up to 248. Okay, that might be excessive, but we'll leave those be. The steel line here needs to have a rate of about 104 as well. So if I duplicate all of these guys, that should go to about 103, 104. That's fine. So now that should all be a little bit more balanced. And we should see just a bunch of vehicles moving through here and generally sort of trying to do their thing, which they're sort of trying to do. We'll see how well this all plays out. This might end up just being a complete disaster with how I've got these lines laid out, especially since they do kind of have to go that way, so they have to loop around a lot. I almost wonder if removing this waypoint would be an idea, because then that does let some of them just go out the other way. So I guess, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Same with maybe the coal line. Although it looks like they're all going out the way they come in, but I guess that's fine. Let's manage the line and take out the waypoint here as well. I mean, some of them are still going that way, so it's whatever. We'll let them figure it out, is what we'll do. The good news is, though, we seem to be, you know, moving a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of vehicles. We've got all of these guys sort of coming through. They're all going to different platforms to pick up the coal. So as much as this has, you know, a bit of excess, we're picking up a good amount of it. And this is, I mean, it's, you know, producing a massive amount as well. So that's good. Basically, this is good. This is already producing steel. This is already producing a good number of planks. So we just need to move everything. And quite honestly, did I hold on a minute. Logs to planks, planks to machines. It is, yeah, so the planks need to go all the way. Yeah, okay, so we're fine. The question now is, where do the machines go? Because that is something we need, right? There needs to be a destination for the machines. I mean, Warren wants them. Philadelphia wants them. This is maybe where a train is going to be needed, because Santa Ana wants them as well. So maybe we bring them over towards Santa Ana. We can drop some of them off there and then bring a train from Santa Ana through to this station in Fargo, connecting it to this line, bringing it down to Philadelphia. Maybe that's what we do. We could take them up to Madison as well. Although we'd need it to go to Philly and then up to Madison, then back to Philly. And, oh boy, that would be a whole thing. And then back out that way. That really would be a whole thing. I might do a plane. It might be a plane. We did get a new one. We absolutely did, and I actually want to look at it real quick. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We got the junker. So it can carry a decent number of people. It can carry 10. So I think we're gonna get the junker, and I think we might use it to move machines. But what I'm gonna do initially is upgrade all of my existing planes to the junker. And we'll go ahead and do the same on the Gilbert line as well. That's not what I wanted to do at all. I want to go to the Gilbert line. I want to manage the vehicles, replace it with the junker. And it's a pretty good looking plane. That's definitely a pretty good looking plane. It can carry a good few more people. And I think it might have been faster. Was it faster? That's the real question. The junker is doing 124. This guy's doing 109. So yeah, it's faster. So it's faster, it carries more people. We might see more people interested in traveling by plane, which is good. Although I'm thinking I might, let's see here, not buy vehicles. I want to configure the airport a little bit. Do I have room for a cargo terminal? I do not. Interesting. So we might want a second airport in Philadelphia, which honestly, I'm not against doing. I don't hate the idea of putting another airport in here and using it to bring a bunch of machines over. I think it would be cool. So I think really that is what I'm going to do. So essentially, this road here can go away since it's, I guess, not really needed. And what I'm going to do is get myself a cargo airfield, and I want to put it, you know, right here. And I think that does immediately have a connection to yeah, it does have a connection to everything, which is good. Can I raise this up? No? Okay, well, I guess it's going to live right about there. It's done some interesting things to the terrain, which I can sort of fix a little bit. But that's all right. So that's going to be a cargo airfield near Norwalk. And then up by Philadelphia, which is actually not that far away, but I'm going to do this because I'm going to have fun with it. We'll build another one. And essentially, oh man, where am I going to put a cargo airfield here? I guess maybe down here by the train tracks would be an interesting spot for it. I actually kind of like that. I think that's a pretty cool idea. So let's get ourselves a road. Let's go for a large country road. And we're going to try and get this to be sort of parallel to the tracks. So something a little bit like that, I think would be pretty solid. Maybe a little bit further out from the tracks like that, I think is pretty parallel. So that's good. We can just smooth that out ever so slightly. We can probably smooth out a lot of this area as well because we are putting an airport in there. And then all we need to do is connect this down to the existing road, which might be a bit of a pain to do, to be quite honest, but we'll give it a shot. And there we go. We have ourselves a little cargo airport. I think it looks just fine. The only thing we need now is to bring the machines into Philadelphia, and it's going to be right here in the heart of Philly that happens to want them. So the only thing we need is a little truck station over here, and I'm going to be quite honest, I don't think we need that many platforms. So we'll go ahead and just put this, I guess, I think right there is actually too far away from the airport. So it's going to have to be on this side of the airport, which is just fine by me. I guess we could put it, I think right about there should be fine. And we can just bring a road straight up to it like this. And that, to me, looks just fine. So this guy is connected to the airport, and all we need to do is a new line from here, which is going to go to all of those existing platforms. And then it is going to go to this stop right in the middle of Philadelphia, and we can go ahead and call that road cargo. It is Philly, and it is going to be machines delivery. And then Philadelphia is going to be the only city that gets machines sort of immediately. In time, we'll absolutely change that, but for now, it's just going to be Philadelphia. And so I think what we'll do as well is go ahead and get ourselves a junker. We'll give it, we'll make it yellow since it is going to Philadelphia, but we'll go for a slightly lighter yellow. And we'll put this guy on the Norwalk to Philly line for machines. We can go ahead and set this up as well. We'll manage it. We're going to say that here you are exclusively loading machines in Philadelphia. You are unloading whatever you're carrying. And in doing this, I mean, we have the plane heading out. We're going to be waiting a little bit for the machines to actually get made, but we do now have a completed line. So if the machine production ends up being good enough, in theory, we can use planes to ship the machines to Philly, and then from Philly to Madison, or we can fly them directly to Madison if we really wanted to. I feel like we've done a lot with trains, right? We've done a lot with trucks. I feel like I almost never really do air cargo, and maybe 1933 is a little bit too early to be relying heavily on air cargo, but I'm kind of willing to give it a shot, and I'm kind of curious to see how it plays out. So we'll see what happens. I am also curious. We have a good amount of planks waiting around. I guess we're waiting on steel at this point, which is going to be this little truck right here, which does in fact have some steel on board, which is absolutely fantastic. So we are about to have our first set of machines being made. We also just, oh, that train. Okay. Now hold on a minute. Manage vehicles. I need to see here. So hold on a minute. Are those diesel? They are. Oh, those are kind of beautiful looking. I've got to be honest. What if I get rid of you and add that? It's pretty great looking. It is pretty great looking. It only carries 52, but I feel like that's probably worthwhile because I don't think this line's very popular anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a few of these guys because they look really good. They look kind of amazing. So 18 million for that. I don't think I can change the color of them. No, I don't think that did anything, but that's okay because it's a really good looking plane. It's really, really good looking. It's going to be around here somewhere, right? I mean, I guess I can just go and find it. So where are you? You're down here. Oh, look at, okay. I was going to say, look, I was kind of wanting to look at the train. Can I come out of the tunnel? There we go. Look at that. Why do we never design anything that looks like this anymore? Seriously, this like chrome retro futuristic thing looks incredible. I don't care what it's so I mean it's I don't know what kind of style it is. To me this is like retro futuristic chrome, like you can look at this and understand why all of like 60s and 50s sci-fi was just chrome spaceships, right? I love it. I love it so much. I absolutely adore that exists. It looks so good. Oh, now this is interesting. We have 24 machines sitting around waiting to be taken by this airline, which is, I think on its way back. Let's have a look. Aircraft 25. Yeah, so aircraft 25 is very much on its way back, which is good news. Although I'm also wondering if we should repaint it to be more of give it like a gray and be sort of a black front to it. That actually looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. So this guy's going to pick up a whole bunch of those machines and start taking them over to Philadelphia. But based on how many machines we have sitting about, I'm almost inclined to say that we need at least one more plane. Because this guy's not even going to pick up half of what's sitting there. Although it is, there are worse problems to have, I suppose. I think that is exactly what we'll do. Manage vehicle, duplicate vehicle. We'll have 2 of them, and that should be enough to help us move a decent little chunk of machinery over to Philadelphia. I'm hoping this line works out, though, and I know, I did say we were going to do this thing with the oil sand down here and bringing fuel into Evansville, and I do still want to do that, especially since, as I've mentioned, Evansville and Fullerton want the fuel, so, and Norwalk as well. So we have a lot of money that can be made at this corner of the map. And I think, to be quite honest, we have a potential here. We have opportunity. Because Evansville has a really easy fuel setup right here. So essentially, it's going to grow. So essentially, we could very easily have this become a decent little hub where we have people traveling to from Philadelphia's main airports, which I think would be kind of cool. So we got 371,000 for that plane landing right there. We have 12 machines waiting to head into Philadelphia, and Philadelphia should, in a second at the very least, get itself some machines for the general population, which is exactly what we want. That's good. That's actually fantastic, even, that we're finally doing this for Philadelphia. Although looking at it, we really might want to get a better drop-off point, because this one seems really inefficient with this these intersections right next to each other. We might want to do something about that, but I'm hoping that by bringing machines in here, we're going to start to see Philadelphia grow that little bit more. Evansville Coffee Farm. Interesting. Now, hold on a second. Evansville Coffee Farm is here. Do we have anywhere nearby that can do anything with the coffee? There's actually a lot of coffee in this general area, although it doesn't look like there's anywhere nearby that can do much with it. There is over here, which is fair enough. And actually looking at that, we have we have 3 coffee farms right here. We have somewhere where it can be turned into coffee beans, and then somewhere where that can be turned into food. We have some amazing production in this corner of the map that I think we need to do something with. I really do. I really, really think we need to do something with it. Because we can take that sand from down here and turn it into bricks as well. So we have room for good fuel production. good food production and good construction material production. I think Evansville is about to become its own little central hub, so I think that's going to have to be the focus. I really do. I think we're going to have to take our eyes off of Philadelphia for just a little bit. Although I'm also thinking we might want to look at the rates and whatnot around here, because the general production here, I'd like it to be a little bit better. I'd like the shipment and the transport to be a little bit better around here. But for the time being, I think this is a good little setup. I think it's great that we've managed to get planes moving cargo. I think it's great that we have machines finally going into Philadelphia. And I think it's great that we have a just ridiculous amount of food sitting here. And a lot of that's actually going to Madison as well. So that should mean, wait, hold on. How is Madison doing? Is it growing? 529. It's aiming for 565. And that's without machines as well. So Madison's doing quite well for itself as well. I'm really happy about this. I've got to be honest. I'm very, very happy about this.